So, okay, thanks, Himanshu. We'll start with the session. I hope the people who wanted to join have already joined, and people can still join. I mean, they can join in between, and we'll start off the session. So, I hope you all know that what we have assembled here for. Do you know what is the session about? Anything in the chat? Do you know what is the session about? Okay, machine learning. Have you explored anything related to it? How many of you have already started learning something around machine learning? How many of you have not started? Okay, let's ask that question if that's valid. You have started, Anurag. Okay. From where are you all learning, and what exactly are you all learning? In machine learning, what have you started? Basic terminologies, I guess. Okay. Okay. Great. So today we have 3 speakers with us, and that is often a very rare session in which we have more than 1 or 2 speakers. We are fortunate that we have 3 machine learning enthusiasts in our call today. 2 of them are our seniors, and they are from the 18th batch. We have Vinamrata Rani with us and Komal ma'am. And I'm not going to call them ma'am right now because we are in a GSC based session and we refer each other with names, and you all can call us by our names as well. And we have Shreya from our batch, and I hope you all know her as a Women in Tech lead. So I would not waste a lot of time and I would invite them to the session. They'll carry forward. Make sure that you're interacting enough and you're attentive with whatever information is being given to you. You'll have some interesting games, you will have quizzes, and we'll also give you information about the kind of assignments or the kind of things that you can learn yourself. So this ML basically would be a self-paced learning campaign, and it would be on you on how much you leverage of this opportunity. Today is just a kickstarting session where we give all the information to you what Google has provided us, and all the best to all of you and all the best to the speakers today. So Vinamrata, Komal and Shreya, over to you guys. Please start sharing the slides.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
First of all, I would like to introduce you myself. I am Komal. I am Komal from 18CS branch, and I am an ML enthusiast, and I will take your journey to the introduction to machine learning. This is our topic today. It is a ML campaign in which we will have 3 sessions, and it is the first session of our ML campaign, and our topic is basics of machine learning. So first of all, I would like to survey all of you guys. How many of you are familiar with the terminology ML? Any of you have ever worked on a machine learning model, or anything have you heard ever about machine learning, so that I can know the basics of? No. Okay. Prem Sagar. Anyone else who have known about machine learning? No. Okay, only one response. Okay, never but here. Okay, Himanshu, Rahul, no. Yes, Dolly Kumari. Okay, guys. So this is a basic introductory session. First of all, let me introduce you about uses of machine learning in industry and in day-to-day life activity. So some of you, as I am reading the chat, are already familiar with the machine learning. So can any of you tell me where artificial intelligence, machine learning models are being used in our day-to-day life and activity? Do anyone know about it? We have been using machine learning on day-to-day basis on a large numbers, but maybe we don't know, but some of you might be knowing this. Yeah, Google Assistant, Ravisha, right? Anyone? Alexa, right? Prem Sagar, Alexa, Google Map, Himanshu, right? Anyone else? Oh, one important user suggestion. Yeah, face recognition. Right. Okay. Image recognition. Right, Dolly Kumari. There are a whole lot of bunch of uses of machine learning. Okay. Tesla, Instagram feed has our demand. Friends are right. Okay. Okay, let me go through you the uses of machine learning. First use of machine learning, as we are familiar with Google Assistant. We generally use to speak, and it generates the text of our speech. It uses the machine learning model for this. And same way, our spam filter, which Google has provided us, it classifies emails into spam or in your or spam or some legal messages on the basis of its machine learning model. So I would like so I'm going to present my screen. From there I will start taking the session. So let me present my screen. So this is our slide, guys. It's all about machine learning. Okay, let me give you a basic glimpse of what basically is machine learning. When we break the term machine and learning, firstly I would tell about what is actually learning. So learning is basically a process of generalizing the overall scenario. What is actually generalization? So let me tell you that with a simple examples. When we are kid, suppose go in a past and imagine yourself as a 5 years old kid who have never seen before any cat, any dog, right? Now when you are kid, let me bring a cat in front of you, right? You must be unaware. Oh, what is this? You must be curious, right? So at that time I'll be feeding in your mind that this is the cat, this is the way it look like, it is called cat. I am giving you the pictures of a cat, a real cat, and I'm telling you that this is a cat. And the same time I give you a dog, okay, and I'll tell you this is a dog, right? The way we learn in our childhoods, we saw pictures, we take on words, we take on voices, and this way our brain learn, okay. And after a few days or some months, if I bring a new breed of a cat which looks completely different from your previously viewed cat images, then your mind try to connect with your previously existing data. Oh, it's I look like a cat, its nose look like cat, its fur is something different, but its overall features look like a cat, so it must be a cat. So this is how we study, right? We take our past memories, and on basis of that, if we encounter any if we encounter any problem which we have never seen before, we try to correlate with it. And it simply means that we have learned from our past, we have learned from audio, visuals, which is basically data, which serves as a data. The same way machine is a learning. Machine learning is a, you can simply understand it is like we are telling a machine to learn like a human, and perform task as a human is performing, right? So we are basically training a machine to behave like a human, to think like a human, to solve problems like a humans, right? So this is all about machine learning. I hope you guys are getting my words. Kindly respond. Are you getting my words? Kindly unmute yourself. Okay, now let's move forward. So here is one video about, is it visible? Let's go through.
Yes, it is.
Our ability to learn and get better at tasks through experience is part of being human. When we're born, we know almost nothing and can do almost nothing for ourselves. But soon, we're learning and becoming more capable every day. But did you know that computers can do the same? Machine learning brings together statistics and computer science to enable computers to learn how to do a given task without being programmed to do so. Just as your brain uses experience to improve at a task, so can computers. Say you need a computer that can tell the difference between a picture of a dog and a picture of a cat. You could begin by feeding it images and telling it, this one's a dog, that one's a cat. A computer program to learn will seek statistical patterns within the data that will enable it to recognise a cat or a dog in the future. It might figure out on its own that cats have shorter noses and that dogs come in a larger variety of sizes, and then represent that information numerically, organising it in space. But, crucially, it's the computer, not the programmer, that identifies those patterns and establishes the algorithm by which future data will be sorted. One example of a simple yet highly effective algorithm is to find the optimal line separating cats from dogs. When the computer sees a new picture, it checks which side of the line it falls on and then says either cat or dog. But of course there can be mistakes. The more data the computer receives, the more finely tuned its algorithm becomes, and the more accurate it can be in its predictions. Machine learning is already widely applied. The technology behind facial recognition, text and speech recognition, spam filters on your inbox, online shopping or viewing recommendations, credit card fraud detection, and so much more. At the University of Oxford, machine learning researchers are combining statistics and computer science to build algorithms that can solve more complex problems more efficiently, using less computing power. From medical diagnoses to social media, the potential of machine learning to transform our world is truly mind-blowing. To find out more.
I hope all you guys watched the video. It's pretty interactive. This is the same which I have told you about how our brain learns something, right? It says the same thing that this is the way we learn. This is cat, this is dog. Now let's move on to the next slide, which is if we are learning any technology, we always try to think that, okay, if I am learning something, what is its future application, whether it will serve as advantage in my career or in my life, in any ways. So I will take you through the trends, ML industry trends. What is ML basically for the tech industries or any industries? So here is machine learning field. As you know, is continuously evolving. It is one of the fastest growing fields in technology. This is, as you can clearly perceive, as because every day in every day-to-day life we are using ML in a Google Assistant, in a spam filtering. Even the Amazon recommendation system is also using machine learning, because of which now Amazon is a billion-dollar company because of its ML features, so that it personalizes its platform as per the user's need. So from this fact, you can clearly understand that machine learning has a huge applications, and it is emerging day by day. So here are some of the data science job, which is basically a machine learning job, which you can pursue if you take machine learning as a career forward. So these are some of the job roles, which includes data scientist, data architect, data engineer, data science manager, machine learning engineer, and statistician. So I would so first of all, what data scientists do? Data scientists, you must have heard the term data scientist. Become a data scientist engineer and earn a lakh and billions of $1 as per the YouTube ads which are rolling around us. As we are from the CSE background or any of the engineer background, we must have seen the YouTube ads. Become a data scientist engineer and get high-paying jobs. So we must inquire that what is basically a data scientist, what it actually do. So let me take you through that. First, I will start with what is data architect. As you know, any architect, consider a civil engineer, civil architect, which design a blueprint of a building, right? Same way, a data architect is basically designing the blueprint of what kind of data we should collect, how should we process the data, and what information we need. So data architect is responsible for the designing blueprint of in what way we are going to proceed our journey of building or training any model or collecting a data. Now next come to the data engineer, right? Data engineer takes the blueprint by data architect, and it actually gathers real data, organize them for the further processing. So I would like to go you through it. Data engineer basically cleanse the data, it do further processing. So you might have been thinking that why data needs to be cleansed, what is all these things you are telling about. Don't worry, if when we proceed further, you will get to understand what I'm actually trying to convey. First, let me tell you what is basically a data cleaning. Okay. Here I have taken one of the pictures from the Google Quora. So basically, this is how our raw data look like. You can see this is how actually our raw data exactly. A man which is what called जो पूरी धागा में फंस गया एकदम अजीबोगरीब उलझा सा. This is our raw data. We really can't use this kind of data for building any machine learning model, right? We need some of the processing for this, right? So after the data is given to a data engineer, right, which do some of the data munging, some cleaning tasks, some of the nitty-gritty things if it is gonna do on a raw data. This is how our data looks like, which we will work for our machine learning model. Now you can clearly see the difference. This raw data is completely unused, completely not useful for any of the machine learning model. But after some of the cleaning tasks have been performed on it, this is the actual data which look like. So you can clearly see the difference, right? Now we move further on. We have covered data architect, data engineer. Next we will move on what is data scientist. Here comes the next thing. Data scientist actually do the further job after the data engineer, right? It basically perform some of the other processing on a data, and next comes a machine learning engineer, right? Machine learning engineer is responsible for actual writing of the code for a machine learning model. And next it comes the data science manager. As you know, any kind of manager is responsible for the overall managerial activities. So data science manager basically connect all these things. And next comes statisticians, which on the basis of some data, on the basis of our data and the models, get some statistics from this, and it present to any industry, right? So I'm not saying that this is superior, data engineer is lower, data scientist superior, or ML engineer is superior. No. Everyone has its own responsibility, and each and every job role is connected to each other. So everyone has their specific role, and trust me guys, all of these job roles are pretty good and pretty engaging and pretty high paying jobs. Now let's move to the next slide. So as you can see in this slide that what is the potential of machine learning. You can clearly see in our slide that over 65% of the companies in a current era is using machine learning in some of their basic functionalities. Like there have been 98,000 job postings on a machine learning, and the machine learning models which have been used right now is fairly 92% accurate. So you must be thinking what I am telling about what is accuracy on machine learning model. Vinamrata will make you understand what I am telling about. Basically, you can simply think that consider any human, right? If he is introduced to any new problem, then he might facing some difficulties, right? So based on its experiences, he try to get the solution. Solution might be wrong or right, depends on its efficiency his accuracy, that how he has learned, right? How he has applied his experiences. So this is all about accuracy. Our model, our machine learning models is also work like something like a human on a basis of a data. If the data is good, if our models is trained well, then accuracy can increase as well, decrease as well. But fairly, if you take average, our current models has 92% accuracy. And here comes the most important thing. You know, global market size of a machine learning, it's even more than, it's just a is written thing. It's even more than 17.2 billion dollars. It's a pretty huge, guys, and it's a pretty huge. And if you want to evaluate, if you want to what call leave it, okay. I would like you to give a task. Kindly search on a Google's top high paying jobs in a tech industry. I'm giving you 10 seconds. Search on a Google top high paying jobs for CAC in a tech industry. You will get surprised and how much salary they offer. Kindly search it and inform me in chat box. Have you searched through? You must be surprised the huge amount any data scientist or any machine learning practitioner get. It's a pretty huge amount, guys. As I have studied from the Google, it's a, if you are working in any important company, it's a average is 1.6 crores. It's a pretty huge. I'll be very happy to get that much amount. You guys also must be happy to get that much amount, right? So you can pursue machine learning as a career forward, and trust me, it is one of, as you can see, the salary hikes that you get after pursuing a data science. You can see that since 2012, data science sectors have witnessed a massive hike of 650%, far outpacing other sectors. If you compare other sectors, the highest growth is witnessed in a data science field, in a machine learning field. And if you and the next hour is 37% transition from the marketing analyst jobs to data science job leads to 37% salary growth on average. So if you are on a marketing field, and if you change your field from marketing to a data scientist, then you are going to witness 37% salary hike. It's really good in this age of Mehengai. And next is the expected salary growth when a person switch from a digital analyst to data scientist is 31% on average. It's also fairly good, right? Now, next it's 44%. Someone transiting from a data engineer role to a data scientist role, the salary hike could be as high as 44%. Even the data engineer is also a high paying job. But if you switch to that, if you are even training yourself even deeper in a machine learning, then your job responsibility is changing, your role is changing, and you witness hikes in your salary. And as a youngster, as a kid, we simply want that, oh, I need as much as money as I can so that I can live a better life, travel foreign, and have a good life, right? So you can pursue machine learning as a career. It's a pretty good. Now let's play a game. So it's a quick draw game. So I'll get you through this game, right? Let's draw. Let's see how a machine learning model actually works. Here it is written, I have to draw a heart in 20 seconds. Let me draw a heart. I pretty don't know, but let me try my right.
Oh, I know. It's hard.
You can see it's predicting it's a heart. T-shirt. Okay. Let's see. I can draw t-shirt.
I see circle. Or potato. Or pool. Or baseball. Or satellite.
Sorry, I'm
mosquito.
not able to draw a t-shirt. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't guess it.
spreadsheet, right?
I see line. Or knee. Or jail. Or fence. Oh, I know. It's spreadsheet.
See, it predicted it's a spreadsheet.
I see circle. Or pond. Or nail. Or bucket. Or toilet. I see birthday cake.
Yeah, it's a cake.
Oh, I know. It's cake.
So, right. Okay.
I see line.
I don't know how, so.
I see canoe. Or diving board. Or underwear.
Excuse my drawing, guys.
Oh, I know. It's saw.
Okay. Scissor. Okay, let's try.
I see line. Or seesaw. Or arrow. Or flying saucer. Or stitches. I see shovel. Or spoon. I see pliers. Or eyeglasses. Sorry, I couldn't guess it.
You can see our model has predicted fairly accurate based on my poor drawing skills. It's not its mistake, it's my drawing mistake. But how this all are working? See, I have drawn a saw, a cake, a heart, a spreadsheet, t-shirt, and a scissors, right? It has predicted 4 are right and 4 are wrong. So let me tell you how it is predicting everything. So wait a minute. Let's jump into the next slide where I will explain how it is working. So what we have done in our game, how does this game work, and how is it recognizing my drawings, and how could we program this? This kind of questions must have been arising your mind, and I'm gonna answer all of you this question. So let me tell you how this game is working first, right? If I'm consider that if I am drawing any carrot, right? So any programmer must have been feed several handmade drawing of a carrot, how a carrot is basically look like. So it has trained itself on a basic, on how carrot can look like. It can be short, it can be tall, it can be fat, it can have feathers, it cannot have. See, there are so many pictures of a carrot. So it basically take these data as an input and train itself. And further, if I am drawing something which is looking like similar to carrot, it try to predict, oh, is it a carrot or not? So based on its accuracy of prediction, it predict itself. So it predicted is a carrot. So you must be thinking, how can we program this as well? This is you gonna learn in this entire session, that how we can program this. This machine learning is all about all this. So here, you must be thinking, why machine learning? Our traditional programming approach is really better. C programming, where we build some functions, we give some input and we get some output. What is all about machine learning? I'm getting pretty confused. What is different between all these things? You must be facing lots of curiosity in your mind. Let me settle all these things. Firstly, why machine learning, and how it is different from our traditional rule based, right? In C programming or a Python or any Java, any other programming, you must have been generating some functions, giving some input, right? Firstly, you write some procedures. So we write a function, then you give input, and then your functions give you output. But machine learning is totally different, right? In machine learning, what you give input and you give output as well, and then your machine learning model generates function, right? In C programming, in any kind of a programming, we are writing functions itself. But as you can see, our day-to-day overall day-to-day world activities can't be programmed, can't be written as a procedural. Okay, if x is equal to this, x is equal to y. If it is a Tuesday, it's a Sunday. If how it looks like, we can't program our daily life as a rule-based, right? So because of this, machine learning come into pictures, because a rule-based programming method can't take a stand as a, can't behave as humans do, as humans mind do. So this is the difference between a rule based method and a machine learning. In rule based, we write functions, right, which is a pretty tiring task, because the writing function is really not easy, but it gets easier. In machine learning, machine itself gives you function, you just have to provide its data, right? It's a pretty simple thing. This is how machine learning does. In machine learning, we give its input data, and it generates a function as a hidden layer, and based on a further input we give, it predicts the correct output based on its accuracy, right? So let's have a quick session. Some questions I will give you. I hope all you guys are aware of what is a rule-based approach and what is machine learning. So kindly give me quick answer. Which approach will you use? Rule-based approach or machine learning approach in alphabetizing a list of song titles? Kindly tell me in chat box. Machine learning. Akash is telling machine learning. Himanshu, machine learning. Okay. Ujjwal, rule-based. Verma, Niket, machine learning. Sandesh, machine learning. Okay. Rule-based approach, BCDC, rule-based. Okay, let's take the correct answer of this question. It's a rule-based approach. Some of you which have given the machine learning as answers really wrong. It's let me tell you why alphabetizing a list of a song you will use rule-based. Let me tell you, machine learning, it looks like pretty easy, but it's not that easy. You require a huge lots of data. How will you gather that much amount of data? It's a simple task. You have to just write a program. If any string is a small a, if it's a small b, capitalize in it's capital A, capital B, you just have to write a few lines of a code, right? So if it can be performed simpler way, why are you gonna use that much heavy complex thing? Answer is a rule-based approach. Those who have given the rule-based, it's a right. And machine learning can't be used everywhere. It can be used, but you have to you require lots of data. Next question is, what approach will you use while ranking web search results? Kindly answer me in quick. Which approach will you use for ranking a web search that Google is using? Machine learning, Himanshu machine learning, Sandesh machine learning, Akshat machine learning. Okay. All is answering machine learning. Let's see. Vinamrita, both. Rule-based. Okay. Let's see who is gonna win this game. That's right, Vinamrita, you're right. We can use both. So, as we can see, why? Can anyone answer why both is applicable here?
Can I try? Sorry for the echo. So I thought about machine learning first, because when we talk about web-based results, we kind of filter and order it in the order of how much the clicks were done and how much it is visited, etc. But then I thought that if we normally apply rule-based approach and use ascending or descending order and so on, that would also work. So I think that's the reason why both can work.
Yeah, she's right. Because if in terms of ranking any web search, we can have a various method to rank, right? If we think that, okay, if anything is appearing as a or a B, or in that case, we can use a rule-based approach. If we want something complex, no, I want to rank it on a basis of a number of visitors, number of feedbacks, and a whole lots of features. They will go for a machine learning, which is using nowadays by the Google. But traditionally, rule-based approach is used where they uses graph in which some kind of a procedural algorithm used to run, right? Moving further. Okay, in this case, which function will you use? Which approach will you use in predicting the house based on the locations? Answer me quick. Yeah, Himanshu is also right. Amtech machine learning. Ravisha machine learning. Okay. Akash machine learning. Varma Niket machine learning. Okay. Many of you have answered machine learning. So it's time for KBC. 1, 2, 3. All of you guys, Ujjwal says rule based. Oh, you are wrong. Akshat, Ujjwal, Nirbhay, you are wrong. Its answer is the machine learning. You can't apply rule based approach here. Here the term called predicting. Prediction can't be rule based. For this, you have to use machine learning. If we have to predict something, we really don't know the underlying function, or how can we predict something. For this, a human mind is needed. So something which behaves similar as a human mind, that will be applied here. So its correct answer is a machine learning. But okay, next question. Which approach you will use in processing online payments? Answer me quick. Starting with rule based, Akshat rule based, Himanshu rule based, Rahul machine learning, Ravisha rule based, Ujjwal rule based. Okay, Sandesh both. Let's see how many of you guys are right or wrong. Rule based approach, right? I think okay, many of you are pretty right. So let me tell you why here rule-based approach will be used. As I have told you, if there is a simpler task, it's better to use rule-based approach, because machine learning, there is a huge lot of cost involved in implementing this model, right? So processing an online payments is a pretty few lines functions which you have to write in any of the programming language, and your task will be done. So rule-based approach is the right answer. Next is, which approach will you use in classifying an object in a photo? Answer me. Classifying an object in a photo, which approach will you use? Rule-based approach or machine learning? Machine learning, Amtech, Ravisha, machine learning, Himanshu, machine learning. Okay, Upashna, machine learning, Akshat, machine learning. So all of you are answering machine learning. Definitely machine learning. You are so much sure, Nirbhay. Let's see how much sure you are. Machine learning is the right answer. This time, all of you guys are right. Machine learning, because we have to classify an object in a photo. It can't be done in a basic procedural way. How will you write a code? How to classify an object? I can't write, right? So machine learning will be used here. Now, quick recap. Rule-based approach and a machine learning approach. You can see in rule-based approach, rules are defined and improvements come from the algorithm in network. So in rule-based approach, you have to write algorithm by yourself, and any error, any bug if happens, then you have to go and correct by yourself. In machine learning, machine learns from the patterns of a data. You just have to feed some data, and it learns from data itself, and improvement made from additional data. In machine learning, if anything, if your accuracy go down, if your accuracy go down, if your machine is not working proper, if any bug might have been encountered, so one of the basic approach if people do that, run the algorithm, run that model again and again, and in pretty some of the training time, may it itself remove that bug, and your model is working pretty fine. So it seems like an amazing and magical task that your bug is going itself, vanishing itself. It can't be done in a rule-based approach. So, but it has its own benefit, right? In where you can use rule-based approach, you can't apply machine learning because a huge lot of cost you have to pay, and where machine learning is needed, you can't really apply rule-based approach. Now this is the end of the session. Now I would like to call Shreya to take your journey ahead. So Shreya, over to you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. So this is Shreya. Okay. So I hope all of you are enjoying the session already. Okay, the chat section being lit. So did you like the quick draw game? Can I get a quick thumbs up in the chat section? Are you guys there with me? Yes, so definitely. So stay tuned for more such fun activities. We have lots of activities, further in the session. Yes, cool. So let me share my screen quickly without any further ado. Let me know if my screen is visible, okay? Just a second. Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yes, share.
Okay, cool. So I hope by now all of you must have got some insight about what machine learning is. Isn't? Are you comfortable with the term machine learning? Everybody? Okay, see, Prem Sagar says little bit. Okay, that's why we have our entire campaign. We'll make sure that by the end of the campaign, you will be comfortable with the term machine learning and with the entire thing already. Okay, so we don't know how does it work. Okay, no problem. You'll get to know soon. Okay, cool. So by now you already know what machine learning is, right? So the entire course is structured on what machine learning is and crowdsourcing, right? So let us know how machine learning goes hand in hand with crowdsourcing. Okay. So how many of you know what crowdsourcing is? Okay, so crowdsourcing is like a very generic term. How many of you know what exactly crowdsourcing is? Can you just write it down in the chat section? I know crowdfunding. Okay, so it's crowdsourcing. Okay, cool. So no big deal. So basically, crowdsourcing is made up of two words, right? Crowd and outsourcing, right? So basically, it is gathering information directly from the community or directly from the people around, right? So let us just move forward to know how Google makes use of crowdsourcing. Okay, or what Google crowdsources. So basically, Google crowdsource, it is Android and web app, okay, that allows its users to answer quick questions, okay, in a gamified UI and help generate diverse training data for machine learning, right? So it basically allows volunteers like you and me, okay, to assemble or to help in assembling the data sets for the Google products, okay, and to improve the ML algorithm that goes behind it. Okay, we know about various ML service, Google services like Google Lenses, Google Photos, right, Google Translator. Okay, a lot of goes side by side. So basically, outsourcing helps in improving those, like enhancing the functionality of those apps. Okay, so so basically Google is used by various people around the world, like a varied community of people who with various cultures, various customs, various languages, right? But Google makes sure that everybody who is using the app uses with the same ease, right? Even if you don't know English, you can get the work done by Google search, right? So can anybody of you tell me how Google does it? How does Google make sure that everybody who is using it uses with the same ease? Okay, like be it you are English speaker or non-English speaker or any one speaking in a native language can get your work done through Google searches by providing its services in the native languages. Yes, right. On behalf of most of the searches, yeah, GUI and translator. Fine. So basically, what happening is that there's a machine learning algorithm or AI algorithm working behind various applications. Okay, that makes sure that that is constantly learning. Okay, from the data set, that's constantly learning from your interaction with it, right? So basically, we'll study about that. Basically, we'll know how Google makes sure that you're comfortable with their applications in whatever native languages you're interested in, or whatever languages you're comfortable in, right? So here in Google crowdsource, you'll get to know that you will basically get a chance to train the model directly, okay, through your responses, okay, and in a way you will be directly kind of enhancing their capabilities, or you will impacting their product, okay. So what is Google's mission behind this crowdsource? Oh, just a second. So what's Google's mission behind this crowdsourcing? Okay, so its main mission or its main agenda behind it was to organize the world's information, right, and make it universally accessible and useful. Okay, which in turn is also enhancing its artificial intelligence models. Okay, which is working on its applications through the data which it is gaining through its community. Okay, that's community is basically us or whoever is crowdsourcing their data or crowdsourcing whatever images or changes to it. Okay, yeah. So basically you'll get to know about how the Google does it basically. Okay, so okay, so this how it does it. Okay, so let's just play a game and 10 minutes. Okay, so let's just play a game and you'll get to know how it is working. Okay, so can you someone just a second. Okay, so all you have to do is to download this crowdsource app. Okay, I'll be sliding the link in the chat section, and you have to download the app to that.
1 second. I think I need to.
Okay,
give
Ravi,
the
share
link.
the link. Okay, fine.
1
You can
second.
share the link. Just a second.
Guys, please download it using this link only, the one that I'm pasting it in the chat, because that kind of adds your contribution towards GDSC, towards our GDSC basically, and GDSC in general, both. So make sure you use this link.
Just ping yes in the chat section once you have done downloading the app. Okay, so does anybody of you already have this crowdsource app in your mobile phones? Yes. Okay, so in that case, Ravisha also share the code link, that invite code for the ones who already has the app.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, fine.
Anyone who
Someone
already
download
has
it quickly.
just use this invite code.
Okay, so this invite code is very important, okay, because then and only we'll be able to track your contributions, okay, as a community together. Okay, so how many of you have already downloaded it? Okay, Prem Service is downloading. Fine. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Where do you use invite link? Okay, once you download the app, no, you'll get an interface, right? Just a second, I'll show you. Okay, so you'll get an interface like this. Can you see? Okay, once you download the app, no, on the top right corner where you have your Google account signed in, you can go there and you can find the crowdsource setting. Okay, in the crowdsource setting you'll have the option of invite code. Okay, you just put the invite code over there. Okay, so once you open the app, no, on the interface to on the top right corner, you will be having an option of crowdsource settings. Okay, where you see your icon of the Google account, right? So you'll have an option there. You just have to go to your crowdsource settings. You will find, right, I guess from the the second last option that's there, invite code. You just click on there and you'll get an option to put the invite code. Okay, so done. Okay, so all you have to do is open smart camera. Okay, we'll be doing this quick task. Let's see how smart camera is working. It's not working. What is not working? Apply icon. Where did you get that apply icon near the invite code setting? it should work. It's not a big deal. You just have to put the code there. Okay, you'll get an option of putting in the invite code. Okay, wait, did you download with the link? Did you download with the invite link?
Guys,
Yes,
please
please.
don't share other invite codes over here.
Okay. So
We have our invite code and you need to use that.
yeah. So for the ones who are downloading the app right now using the invite link, won't find that working. Okay. And for the ones who've already downloaded the app, prior to the session, needs to put the invite code. Just that. Okay. If you've downloaded the app right now with the invite link, you won't need to put the link invite code again in the settings. Okay. Ravisha has shared the link again. If you have downloaded the app using this link, you won't have to put the invite code again. Okay. Okay, so yeah. So let's have we'll have a quick demonstration of open camera task. Okay. As you can see, the interface of this crowdsource has integrations of lots of tasks, right? There's a sentiment evaluation, image verification, smart camera, audio validation, right? So all these are various kinds of tasks, okay, which is using various algorithms behind it, okay, with the purpose of enhancing various Google features. Like for example, sentiment evaluation might be used in Google search, right? Someday if you're just typing, "I'm not happy today, Google, what should I do?" Right? So Google understands the sentiments behind your text, right? So how does it do it? Okay, it has the algorithms. Okay, it is trained on the algorithms that tells it about the sentiments, right? So there are various algorithms which is working behind the features or various applications, right? Just for sake, we have translation. Okay, so if someday if you're typing something, it is able to convert the text into whichever language you want. Okay, so it is basically the various algorithms it is trained on. Okay, that is that is working on the task which you are asking it to do, right? So right now we'll have just a quick demonstration of smart camera, as you can see it in the PPT. Okay, all you have to do is open smart camera. You just click on the green link, green icon, sorry. Yes, just when you click on the link, no, you'll have to download a quick image recognition model for smart camera to work along with this app. Okay, so you just have to download that quick model. Okay, and then you just click on agree with all the terms and conditions, and you can just move forward. Did you get the option to download that quick model, image recognition model? There is option of setting. Uh, you don't have to do any setting in the smart camera. Okay, you just have to wait. I'll show you. Just when you download the app, no, on the interface you'll find a smart camera right over here. Can you see the smart camera icon? You just have to click on that, okay, and it will say to download a quick image recognition model, okay, because it uses that model to work. You can download it over Wi-Fi or your mobile data also. It is just, I guess, 16 MB app or something. Won't require much. Downloading come when you enable. You can just turn on yes and download it over mobile data also. Okay, so how many of you are actually facing problem in downloading that? What problem are you facing, Akshar? Just when you download the app, no, you'll see a smart camera icon. You know, that green icon. You just have to click on that, okay? And just because you have downloaded the app right now, or you're the first time you're moving on to smart camera, you'll have to download that quick model. that it says. You can download it over Wi-Fi, or you can download it over mobile data. That's not an issue. Okay, and only if you download that and just agree to the terms and conditions, your camera opens and you can just move on with the activity. How many of you are actually facing issue with it? Okay, so Nikhil is saying smart camera is working. Cool. So how many of you have your smart camera working? Bye. Yes, it's working. Okay, and how many of you are actually facing problem with it? Same Sagar saying too many things I'm already yes. Actually, that actually that is the task we're going to do right now. You just have to open your smart camera and you have to point the camera to any object around you. Okay, and you have to just have to see whether your camera is able to identify that object or not. Yes, it's working fine. So how many objects have you scanned, Ujjwal? Yeah, yeah, it didn't identify mouse. Yeah, right. So that's how you know that machine can always cannot always be right. And and that's why your role comes in over here. Right now, if your mobile or your smart camera is not able to identify the mouse, but later on, maybe with your data, okay, someday later, if you again check, click the picture of a mouse, it will able to recognize it. Not recognizing human as human. Okay. Okay, so you can also you can give the suggestion of the descriptions. Okay, there is option of writing description. Okay, which is basically used as label in the data sets. This flower. Yeah, cool. So you can clearly see that machines cannot always be right, okay? And you have to constantly keep on working on it. You have to constantly, feed in data so that it, betters its image recognition skills. It showed 10. Yeah. Yeah, that happened with me also. When I scanned my hand towel, it showed it's some fluffy teddy bear or what. Yeah, cool. Okay, so just you can see how the smart camera is working, right? It shows possibilities, yeah. But it works. It shows possibilities, but it has to show actually what the item is or what the object I'm pointing to. And that's the whole idea behind the smart camera, and that's the whole idea behind this crowdsourcing, right? You're basically in a way you're directly training the image recognition model that's on board, okay, and it is using your data, it is using your images right now which you're clicking, okay, it is incorporating that in its data set, and which is further used by Google, which is further used, those data sets are further used in the Google services, various other Google services that makes use of image recognition. Power for that 10. Cool. Okay, it not necessarily recognize your face. Okay, so Akshat said the camera cannot recognize his face. Okay, but there is Google service already which you are using. Okay, that also recognizes your face. Can anybody say which feature is this? Which service is this? Yes, Emil, but which Google services, which is already using machine learning, can also identify your face? Yeah, Google Photos. Google Photos is a very good example of how machine learning or how image recognition is working, right? Because the way everything is segregated according to its location, according to various faces which have clicked, right? So yeah, Google lenses, but Google lens won't recognize your face, will it? I'll have to check that. If Google Lenses recognizes my face and says Shreya. Okay, cool. So I guess all of you must have got a hands-on experience on how the smart camera is working, right? I'll show you. Just as you'll be using smart camera, just as you'll be scanning the images, you'll be contributing to the data set which is directly used by Google in enhancing the enhancing the machine learning algorithms or the AI designs behind its services or various application that it uses. Okay, so your contributions is gets counted. Okay, just as you open your interface, of the app, you'll see there is section of achievements. Okay, where you have stats and badges. Okay, the number of contributions that you make is shown over here. Okay, and you can also earn badges based on the contributions that you're being doing. Okay, my border surface distance. Okay, so enough. So you must have got the hands-on experience on how the smart camera is actually working, right? So can anybody say what what actually goes behind the image recognition model, or how it is able to, or how you're crowdsourcing the stuff that you're doing? I'm at level 13. That's cool. You can also be on the, there's option of leaderboard, right? The more you're contributing, you get a chance to be on the leaderboard. And there are certain perks on being on the leaderboard. How many of you know the perks of being on the leaderboard? Don't know. Yes, okay. So more you're using this crowdsource app, you can have a chance to be a crowdsource influencer. Okay, you can be on the leaderboard, and the top contributors get the chance to be on the Google event. Okay, they're invited by the Google, and the specific events are designed by the Googlers for the crowdsource influencers. That's a great opportunity, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, Akshay is answering. Yeah, various data we fed it in physics object. Yes. Okay, so what basically the main motive behind this task is to let you know that the smart camera is basically contributing to the to enhancing the features of various applications which is using image recognition model. Okay, say Google Lenses or Google Photos or various other applications, right, which is using smart this Google recognition model. Okay, and there's already some Google this image recognition algorithm that is on board. Okay, and you're training that model. Okay, so what happens is that your images is taken is incorporated in the data set. Okay, which is used further by the Googlers to enhance the features of their applications. Okay, so whatever you are contributing, whatever you are contributing is what's in it is combined with the responses of other contributors, okay, to find the best response. Fine. And the best response can also be known as ground truth. You'll be studying more about it later in the course. Okay, and that ground truth is then fed into the model. Okay, and then it helps the machine to acquire various skills by learning on various patterns and everything based on the ground truth. Okay. Yes, want to know how to, yeah. So that's how the whole course is curated. Okay, you have to know about you'll study about you'll get to study about various machine learning techniques. The various concepts that goes behind machine learning, and also simultaneously you'll have to crowdsource it, right? So that's how the topic of the session also goes, right? Okay, so let's move forward. So as you can see, there you just have to answer simple questions. You learn batches, you level up. Okay, you'll be able to get to connect to the contributors around the world. Okay, and in a way, you're improving the Google products for you as well as everybody else around you. Okay, and it's just you're helping in making a difference by your contributions. Fine. Just a second, my resignation something. Okay, so you can just see on the interface that there are various machine learning. Sorry, there are various tasks which has been integrated. These tasks are working on various machine learning models. Okay, there are various clustering models, there are various regression models, there are various classification models, sentiment analysis models. Okay, we should be learning further in the session. I hope when Amrita is there with us, I'll just give it over to Vinamrata, and she'll be giving you more details about what these different machine learning models are, and how they're incorporated in the tasks behind it. So Vinamrata, are you there?
Yes, Shreya, I am.
Yes, over to you.
So, hi everyone. I am Vinamrita and I am ML lead here. So, till now you have learned about ML and its trend and about the Google source. So, I am going to give you a brief info about machine learning, its processes and implementations. And then we are going to discuss about the types of machine learning, which are supervised, unsupervised, classification, clustering, regression, and so on. So, begin with this session. So, you all have learned up till now what is machine learning. So, let me rephrase it that machine learning is a modern software technique that enables computers to solve real world problems by using examples of real world data. We use real world data to solve the real world problems, and this is what we call machine learning. So, while machine learning offers powerful new opportunities implementing new machine learning techniques systems, machine learning system can be more complex than traditional software. That what Komal has already said about. So this is primarily because a machine learning system is not only as good as data. It can only give the best output when we have the good data on which it is trained on. So the good data is most important in the machine learning. So suppose you have an idea and you want to frame it as a machine learning problem, then how are you going to implement it? Or a working machine learning solution, how are you going to implement it? So for that we have machine learning processes. So regardless of the specific model or algo used, regardless of the specific model people use for a common workflow, the steps of the workflows are as defining the problem, building the data sets, train the model, evaluate the model, and then they use the model. These are all the steps we use in the workflow for the machine learning processes. So the first step in the machine learning workflow is to define the ML problem. So you are trying to solve a machine learning problem. Then the first step will be how are you going to define that problem. For this, we have to identify the machine learning task we might use to solve this problem, like whether the data is labeled or not. Here, label means whether the data is already containing the solution or not. Like in data, we have two types of data. One is labeled data or second is unlabeled. The data which contains output plus input is known as labeled data, and the data which only contains input and doesn't contain output is known as unlabeled data. So the first steps involve all these processes. So the next step in the machine learning process is to build that we can use to. And the second step of the machine learning process is to build a data set. This is the most important process for among all other the processes. The model can only be trained and it can as good as when the data is, good. So we can be, so understanding the data needed helps to select better models and algo so you can build more effective solutions. So good and high quality data is essential for any kind of machine learning. So there are four aspects of working data, that is data collection, data inspection, summarization of the stats, and data visualization. So and now the third step is train the model. So the model training is a process where the model's parameters are iterative, updated to minimize and some lost functions that has been previously defined. I mean, the first step in model training is to randomly split the data set into training data set and the test data set. I mean, we are going to split the data into two parts. The first one is going to training data, which consists of 80% of the data. I mean, 80% of data is used for training data set. And the last 20% of data is for the test data set. So the end-to-end training process is feeding the data into the model, then computing the loss function on the results, if there is any, and then update the model parameter in a direction that reduction loss. And we continue to cycle through these steps until you reach a predefined stop condition. I mean, when we will get the desired output, then this cycle stops. And now after you have collected your data and trained a model, you can start to evaluate your data and well the model is performing. So for the model evaluation, the model accuracy is the most common evaluation metric. Imagine for example, you build a model to identify flower as one of the two common species based on measurable details like petal or sepal shapes. Like there are two different species of rose, and you are going to determine which one is this species of rose and which one is other. So for that, you want to know how often your model predicts the correct rose species. For this, we would require to look at our model accuracy. I mean, our model accuracy is the part who will tell this one is this. I mean, this one belongs to pink rose species and this one belongs to blue rose species, and which is done by model accuracy in the model evaluation part. So these all steps are iterative. By iterative, these steps are takes over and over, and you get closer and closer to what you want, that is the output, until you determine that you are close enough, and then you can stop. So, and then we have a video which will be showing about how human bias can affect ML models. I mean, we are going to provide data to the computers to train in machine learning. So how the data can be affected by our choices. So this video is going to explain all about that. 1 second.
Let's play a game. Close your eyes and picture a shoe. Okay, did anyone picture this? This? How about this? We may not even know why, but each of us is biased toward one shoe over the others. Now imagine that you're trying to teach a computer to recognize a shoe. You may end up exposing it to your own bias. That's how bias happens in machine learning. But first, what is machine learning? Well, it's used in a lot of technology we use today. Machine learning helps us get from place to place, gives us suggestions, translates stuff, even understands what you say to it. How does it work? With traditional programming, people hand code the solution to a problem, step by step. With machine learning, computers learn the solution by finding patterns in data. So it's easy to think there's no human bias in that. But just because something is based on data doesn't automatically make it neutral. With intentions, it's impossible to separate ourselves from our own human biases. So our human biases become part of the technology we create in many different ways. There's interaction bias, like this recent game where people were asked to draw shoes for the computer. Most people drew ones like this. So as more people interacted with the game, the computer didn't even recognize these. Latent bias. For example, if you were training a computer on what a physicist looks like, and you're using pictures of past physicists, your algorithm will end up with a latent bias, skewing towards men. And selection bias. Say you're training a model to recognize faces. If you have images from the internet or your own photo library, are you making sure to select photos that represent everyone? Since some of our most advanced products use machine learning, we've been working to prevent that technology from perpetuating negative human bias. From tackling offensive or clearly misleading information from appearing at the top of your search results page, to adding feedback tool in the search bar so people can flag hateful or inappropriate autocomplete suggestions. Complex issue and there's no magic bullet, but it's striking. All of us being aware of it so we can all be part of the conversation. The technology should work for everyone.
So now the question arises that what ML can do, or the better question will be what ML can be and where can we use ML. So you already know now this. So can you write in the chat box that where we can use ML? I mean, Komal had already discussed it. What are the fields where we can use ML in the real life, not for the technical or for the education purpose? Yeah. In Google search, in YouTube suggestions, yeah. Any place where prediction needed and product suggestions. Yeah. You all are missing the most used. I mean, you all use, OTT platform. Their recommendation system is most used, or in the field of e-commerce. Yeah. And then facial recognition in the social medias. Auto tag face of friends on Facebook. Yeah, right. So these are all the fields where we can use ML. And I mean, ML is used in day-to-day life. I mean, we can't even see our life without ML. So ML is used in almost every field. Now we are having the self-driving cars based on totally ML. So now ML is entirely a new field created at the intersection of stats, applied mathematics, computer algorithm, and big data. I mean, adding all these, the result will be ML. So we can't even thought of ML without the mathematics and algorithm and the data. These all are the important fields for the machine learning. So now next, let's move on the types of machine learning. So here I will be giving you a brief intro about the types of machine learning and about the subcategories of them. So here we will be only discussing about the two types of machine learning. So first one is supervised machine learning. So in supervised machine learning, every training sample from the data set is labeled. I mean, there are data set which has labeled output. I mean, the data is labeled. I mean, it has output associated with it. That is, there will be data that already contains the solution. I mean, जो data होगा उसके साथ वहाँ पे मेरे को पता होगा वहाँ पे कि हमें रिजल्ट क्या चाहिए. उसके साथ ही इनपुट के साथ ही वो आउटपुट रहेगा. जैसे कैट एंड डॉग है तो मुझे पता होगा कि हमें क्या आउटपुट चाहिए, हमें क्या प्रेडिक्ट करना है. हमें प्रेडिक्ट करना है या फिर ये डॉग होगा या फिर ये कैट होगा. So this is what supervised learning is. So as a result, the algorithm learns to predict labels or output values. And the second one is unsupervised learning. So in unsupervised learning, there is no labels for the training data. I mean, a machine learning algorithm tries to learn the underlying or hidden patterns of the data. I mean, here using unlabeled data means that we don't provide the model with any kind of label or solution while the model is being trained. मॉडल को खुद ही समझना होता है कि वहां पे हमें क्या करना है. डेटा के अंदर हिडन पैटर्न्स होगा, वो हमें खुद ही समझना है कि ये क्या होगा, या फिर ये इस क्लास ये होगा, ये होगा. वो हमें इनपुट नहीं बताता, वो मॉडल को खुद ही समझना होता है कि आउटपुट क्या होने वाला है. सो दिस इज व्हाट unsupervised learning is. Now going to the subcategories, the first one is classification. So classification is defined as the process of recognition and understanding and grouping the objects into class and categories. This is an unsupervised learning based model. So here we can I mean it's not showing. So here there are I mean the model belongs to some classes. I mean there will be a decision line. So from above the decision line there will be a different class, and below the decision line there will be a different class. For example, like we say this is a cat or this is not a cat. So this belongs to a class. I mean cat is a class, and we are classifying that this will be a cat and this will be not be a cat. So this is what a classification do. Or using identifying a man, like this is a man or this is not a man, this is the animal. So this is what classification does. So now you people have a crowdsourced app, and the usage is already explained by Shreya. So you can see that classification is used in smart camera, in image label verification, like whether this image belongs to this particular class or not, or used in sentiment evaluation, like whether the face is happy or sad or the person is crying. So you can see that all this belongs to a particular class. So this is a classification examples and problems. So next goes regression. So the other type is regression. It is a type of supervised machine learning again, which gives numerical outputs. I mean, it takes only a finite number of values which are continuous, and changing one value trains to another. I mean, if we change one value, then the other will automatically change, and the whole input will be continuous. And for example of regression is like predicting the any product price, or predicting the house price, or predicting the share price. This all belongs to a regression problem. So next goes on clustering. So clustering is a unsupervised learning. It is used when we need to organize. I mean, it is like the data is transferred into some type of cluster. It is used when data need to be organized to find some hidden patterns from it. So in this slide, we can see that the data of hand-drawn images is moved into cluster of a same number. That is, ones belongs to same cluster, all the ones belongs to same cluster, and twos belong to another cluster. I mean, there are two clusters, one for one and two for two. Second cluster. So it divides the object into cluster based on the similarity. I mean, we can write, one can be written in various ways. I mean, various people write one in different ways. But what the cluster does, it sees the similarity between the text or the object, and it forms a cluster for that object. So one type of similar object forms one cluster, and the another types of object can form another cluster. So again, you can go to crowdsource, and there's a task called semantic similarity, which is an example of clustering. You can go and play, but we are shorting with the time, so you can do it later. So the next one is sequence prediction. So yeah, so this the sequence prediction, this predict the next value or values in the sequence. I mean, what will be what is going to be the next word, or what will be going to be the next event. This can be found using the sequence prediction. So this could be used to propose a spelling correction or suggest replies to a text, like we have in the predictor in keyboard. I mean, everyone have a predictor in a keyboard. I mean, we write 2 to 3 words and the whole sentence, or the whole, I mean, we write few alphabets and the whole sentences or the word can be predicted using the predictor in the keyboards. So it include the video. So yeah, again, crowdsource have some apps like handwriting recognition, which works on sequence prediction. So you can go and do the task for the translation task or the handwriting recognition later on. So yeah, we are done with. Are you guys, and do you guys have any queries or questions regarding these topics which we have reviewed till far? Then feel free to ask. Do you have any problem or questions regarding this topic so far? I will be happy to answer them. None one have any queries?
Namrata, are
So again,
you done with the presentation?
Yeah. There is going to be a quiz based on
Okay, so
the
we
whole
can
segment.
have the quiz.
Yeah. So is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first question is, what would make a robot intelligent? And the options are: it responds to the environment, it responds to the environment according to previous experience, it calculates mathematical problems faster than human minds, or it can jump 1.5 meter higher than humans. So only two have corrected answer. Niku and Raz. Congrats, you guys. And the second question. Field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Data science, machine learning, or deep learning. Five answers till far. Yeah, the answer is machine learning. So the next question goes: estimate the price of a house. Which type of machine learning algorithm we are going to use for the estimation of house price? Is it going to be regression? Is it going to be a clustering or classification?
Guys, you need to
Four
see the
answers.
question in the mate and then you need to answer in the quiz window. The settings are like that.
6 answers. Yeah. 4 have.
Just look at the questions and the options in the mate link and answer it in the quiz window.
Wow. Trav, Nico, Ujjwal, Prince.
Rav is me.
Identifying a man. Which type of machine learning algo we are going to use for identifying a man? I think I have discussed it is in a session. Style transfer, classification, clustering, or regression. Wow, 6. Yeah, right. You all are right. Congrats to all. Trav has streaked with 4 correct answers in a row. So, the next one. Type of machine learning algo used to infer information from data without input. Which type of machine learning that doesn't have information in the input about the output? Or we can say that which doesn't have a label. unsupervised means except done, right? Congrats to Rav, you are streaking. Recommending next word in the Android SMS app based on words types so far. Which type of machine learning is this one? Yeah, sequence prediction is used to recommending a next word in Android SMS app. Seventh. So, crowdsource by Google is a way for you to help in many Google services, such as in which of these Google services Google crowdsource is used. I think Shreya has already said about this. I mean, where Google use crowdsource data for. Is it Google Lens, Google Assistant? Yeah, all are right. I mean, Google use Google Lens, Assistant, Map, and Google Photos. All this works on the basis of crowdsource data. So labeling email as spam or not spam. This one is easy. Which type of machine learning is this one? Labeling email as spam or not spam. Yeah, classification. Rav is doing wonders here. Yeah, this picture shows an application of, I mean, which type of subcategory of machine learning this picture shows. Is it classification? Is it regression? Is it clustering? Or is it sequence prediction? Yeah, this one is clustering. I mean, there are 4 clusters here. So, next one, choose all steps that are part of machine learning project. I mean, what are the processes of machine learning? If I say in a simple word, what are the steps for the machine learning project? Define objective, define data, train and test model, and predict and evaluate. Yeah, all are the processes for machine learning model. So, congrats to Himanshu, then Raj and Rav. Congrats to all you guys which have participated in the quiz. And thanks.
Okay, great. So, congratulations to the winners. And first time I got the opportunity to congratulate myself as well. So, I hope you all loved the session. And if you have any feedback, please feel free to tell us. And we'll be organizing more sessions on machine learning. But we also need a good participation from your side and contributions and any kind of feedback, any kind of questions, anything that you want. So thank you all of you for joining this session and hope you have a great day. Bye, good night.
Pravisha, we
Yes,
have to,
Ms. Lata.
we have a form to share now.
Oh, yeah.
for the
But
participants.
most of the participants left. Okay. Just a second, guys. I need to share the form. Great. Please share it in your class groups because a lot of participants left after the first half, and ask them to fill it. Okay? Is that clear?